Hey gang, today I want to talk about perimeter, finding perimeter. All right, you should have learned in class that finding that perimeter is the distance around an object. Okay, the distance all the way around an object. You've probably also done area. Area is the inside, perimeter is the outside. So, how do we find perimeter? Perimeter is pretty simple. What we're going to do is we're going to start in one corner. I always suggested to my students that you put a mark in a corner. As if you have a figure in front of you, put a mark in one spot. That's your starting point, and then work your way around. Okay? But what you've got to do for perimeter is you have to add all your sides. And it's as simple as that. You have to add all your sides. You just have to make sure you don't miss any. Okay? That's what perimeter is. It's adding all of your sides. Now, the order that you add them in is entirely up to you. You know that addition has a commutative property. Okay? And what that means is you don't have to do 3 plus 4. You can do 4 plus 3. You can switch the order. And I'll show you how that can come into play doing this one right here. All right? Pardon me. I have a rectangle. It's 10 inches long. It's 5 inches wide. This side is 10 and this side is 5. Okay? Now, if I start in this corner, I add my way around. I'm going to do 10 plus 5 and then plus 10 plus 5. I could do it that way. 10 plus 5 is 15. Now, 15 plus 10, you might be counting fingers, and it might get a little bit wonky there. Okay? But that would be 25 plus 5 gives you 30. It has a perimeter of 30 inches. Now, how could I have added that a little easier? A little mental math there. Again, addition has that commutative property. It doesn't matter which way I order it. I could have done 5 plus 5 in my head very quickly. 5 plus 5 is, tell me, it's 10, sure. Now I have a 10 plus 10, 20 plus 10, 30, and it's done like that, and there's no finger counting. So just take a look and work through it. Now, worst comes to worst, you write it down on your paper and you add it. I mean, if you need to, 10 plus 10 plus 5 plus 5, and that's what you do. We've got to get to the right place. How you do it, that's up to you. Everybody's going to be a little different. You do what works for you. Okay? But if you need to, you write it down, line up your ones place, and you add. Okay? Do whatever you need to do to get the correct answer. All right. This one was fully labeled. It was easy to do. Okay? I can simply look at it and add my way around. Sometimes you get a picture that's not fully labeled. What happens then? We have to think, what do I know? Here I have another rectangle, but only 2 sides are labeled. Okay? Oh no, we're not going to panic. All right? I should know that the opposite sides of a rectangle are congruent. That means they're the same size. All right? So if this side is 8 inches, I know this side is also 8 inches. If this side is 4 inches, this side is 4 inches. Okay? Now again, you can add through it any way you'd like. Again, when I teach my class, what I've always taught them is I add these 2 sides together. 8 plus 4 is 12 on a rectangle. If those 2 sides are 12, these 2 sides will be 12 as well. And then I can add the 12 and 12. 12 plus 12 is 24. So my perimeter would be 24 inches. That's not the only way I could have added that. I could have done the 4 plus 4 first and gotten 8. 8 plus 8, 16. 16 plus 8 is 24. Either way, I'm going to come out with that same sum of 24. All right, next one. I only have one measurement on this one. What in the world am I going to do if I've only got one measurement? Well, let's take a look at the shape. What shape do we have? It's a square. It's supposed to be a square anyway. It's a square. What do you know about squares? All of the sides of a square are equal. So if I know one side, I know every side. If this side is 5, all of the sides are 5. We're going to mark a corner and start there. 5, 10, 15, 20. This would have a perimeter of 20, and it's inches right here, 20 inches. Okay, simple enough so far? Adding our way around. Now, you're not always going to have squares and rectangles. Sometimes you're going to have different shapes. Over here, I've got a 6-sided figure. What's it called? Tell me. 6 sides? Hexagon. Very good. Hexagon. Again, mark a spot. Pick a spot and start. Otherwise, you're going to add a number twice or you'll leave one out. I'm going to mark a corner. I'm going to start there. And I'm going to add my way around. 3 plus 3, 6. 6 plus 3, 9. 9 plus 3, 11, 12. 12 plus 3, 30, 15, 15 plus 3, 18. Simple enough. The perimeter is 18 centimeters. Okay? Now here I've got one, and I've got a missing side. And I know the perimeter, but I don't know, there's not an opposite side that's equal that I can add in there. I've got to have another way of doing this. Now I said I know the perimeter. Well, the perimeter is the total, right? So think about what you know about addition and subtraction. If you know the big number, if you know the total, and you got to find a smaller number, what do? You subtract, don't you? Well, the first thing I'm going to want to do here is I want to add up and see what I already have. I want to see what I've already got, okay? So I've got 6 and 3. 6 and 3 is 9. Well, then this 6 and 3 will also be 9. And 9 plus 9 is 18. All right? So far, I've got a total of 18. But my perimeter is 23. If I want to find what's missing, I want to take 18 from 23, 23 minus 18, and that'll tell me what the missing side is. So I'm going to have to subtract here. I have to do 23 minus 18. I can't do 3 minus 8. I'm going to borrow and regroup. 13 minus 8 is 5. 1 minus 1 is 0. This side has a length of 5. I found I found what all those sides were. I found their sum, subtracted it from the perimeter, and it gave me the missing side. Okay, I want to use that same idea in this word problem right here. Let's take a look. James has a rectangle with a perimeter of 22 centimeters. So it starts out telling me what the whole thing's going to be. It also told me it's a rectangle. So the first thing I want to do, I want to put a rectangle on my page. It says right here that it's a rectangle. And it told me the perimeter. The perimeter is going to be 22. When I add all these sides, I'm going to get 22. The length of the rectangle is 7. Stop. Put it on your figure. The length is 7. So I'm going to put 7 on the top, and I also put it on the bottom because opposite sides are the same. Now, do you ruin the problem if you put it here and there? No. No. Don't panic over that. Get it on there, but get the opposite sides the same. Okay? What is the width? What they want to know is what's the width? That's the other side, right? Length goes one way, width goes the other. The width's going to be the other side. Okay? So, how are we going to figure that out? Well, we know if I add everything, I'm going to get 22, right? If I add, now, if I put the letter N up there to hold the place of those two sides, okay, I stick the letter N in there. I just don't know what it is right now. I'll change it to a number later, but I'm going to hold it. I have to put the same letter because it's the same number, right? So now I have 7 plus N plus N equals 22, okay? Well, what's 7 plus 7? 7 plus 7 is 14. So now 14 plus N equals 22. Well, if I take the 14 away from this 22, okay, if I take that away, I'll know what I have, I'll know what these two sides are together. Does it make sense? Because 22 is the total. If I take away what I already have, take away that 14, 22 minus the 14 I already have, 12 minus 4 is 8. Is this side 8? No, the two of them together, the N and the N, are 8. So now how am I going to find out what they are? I've got to split them in half. I've got to divide that 8 in half. If you split 8 equally, it's going to be what and what? 8 is 4 and 4. Okay? So you have 4 here and 4 there. Now if I add this, 7 plus 4 is 11, right? And 7 plus 4 is 11. 11 and 11 is 22. Now, that's one way of doing that problem. Okay, I'm going to show you what I think is an easier way as long as you can find halves of numbers. Same problem, right? The rectangle, the perimeter is 22. And you've got to find the other side. This is the way I've always taught my class to do it. Okay? If you know that the perimeter is 22, that's all the way around, right? Well, halfway around will be half of the perimeter, right? Can you find half of 22? Can you find half of that? If you split 22 in half, let's do this. Take the 22 and split it into tens and ones, all right? 20, what's half of 20? 10. What's half of 2? 1. So half of 22 is 11. That means if I go halfway around this rectangle, it's going to be 11. 7 plus what makes 11? Now, not 7 plus 11. 7 plus what makes 11? We'll start at 7 and count towards 11. 8, 9, 10, 11. 4. I got there a whole lot quicker that way. Again, I found half of it. Okay, I found half of it. Let me change the numbers. We'll do another one. I'm going to keep the problem exactly the same because the problem really doesn't change. It really doesn't. It doesn't change at all. Okay. Let's do. It's 18, and the perimeter is 18, and the length is 6. Okay. I have a rectangle again. All right. The perimeter is 18. The length is 6 centimeters. Again, 6 up, 6 down. I could do it two ways, right? I could add 6 and 6 and get 12. Subtract it from 18. Okay, 18 minus the 12 would give me 6. And now I've got to divide that. I've got to split it into 3 and 3. Or I could say, all right, perimeter all the way is 18. Halfway would be half of 18. What's half of 18? If you split 18, what do you get? 18 is what plus what? Same number. 9 plus 9. So I know these two things have to make 9. 9 is 6 plus 3. Okay, you can do it that way. All right? There's an attachment to the video. If you click on the link, you'll go to the attachment. Try them. If you need to rewind it to figure out what in the world I was talking about, try it. Okay? But you got to be able to find that missing side. Okay? So you can do it one of those two ways. You can either do the subtraction, but then you got to make sure you split your answer into 2 parts, or you can find half of the perimeter and do it that way. Okay? Click on the attachment. Keep working hard, guys. I'm proud of you.